Hi, I want to talk about this anxiety business. So, how many times have you heard anxious attachment? Anxious attachment for relationships, anxious relationship attachment. Have you called yourself that? Well, anxiety is a very interesting experience, and it doesn't require that because you're feeling anxious that you have a very specific style. Because as soon as you hear that you have been labeled with a style, labeling yourself or by somebody else, then that's going to become part of your patterns, and you're going to start wanting to behave that same way. Instinctively, your brain will start sending you down that avenue. So I want you to be more in touch with you, more cool, more savvy, more you-oriented with what it is I'm feeling, and I'm not going to call it anything. Maybe I'm shaky, I'm feeling a little nervous. I'm feeling stuck. Ooh, that's a clue. I'm feeling a little stuck. That means something is sitting inside me, some feeling that I don't want to feel, and I'm stopping myself from feeling it. And so what's happening is I'm going into my masculine energy and I'm trying to figure it out. I'm calling myself anxious attachment. I'm all of this stuff. So start simple. He's doing or saying or behaving in a certain way. Observe that. Say, well, this happened. Context. Just set the scene. He behaved in this sort of way. And catch yourself if you're going to label him. He was this way. He said this way. He was feeling... No, just say, when he said that, when he did that, when this happened, I noticed that I'm feeling this. Whoa, all of a sudden I feel a close down. That's your clue. Feelings coming up, you're getting triggered, and you're trying to stop it. So the clue there is don't stop it. Just go, okay, I'm going to sink into this. So lie on the floor, just breathe deep until you feel. The breathing will help you feel. It will help open up. Breathe in through your mouth, open up your whole belly, open up all the way down to the floor, open up everything in your whole up and down. Breathe air into it and see if that enables you to feel more. Or if you feel more, I got to close this down. Okay, so you say that feels a little anxious. Okay, that feels a little nervous. I feel a little tight. Use the words that are more specific, like tight. I feel a little squelched. I feel a little hardened. I feel a little kind of stuck. I feel like I want to go into thought and figure it out. As soon as you can get that, I want to go into thought and figure out what's going on with me, you're going into masculine energy, and now you know you're blocking a feeling. It's an old pattern, and you don't need that anymore. You just don't. What you want to do is start to become aware of when something happens, when he says something, when he does something, you feel this and you start to shut down. Start to notice that pattern, okay? Don't call yourself anxious attachment. Just say, I have this reaction. I've had this feeling. This is a pattern. Whoa, I'm catching it. And then you are empowered. You are an empowered woman because you know what happens when this happens, and whoa. And just say, what happens if I try to feel into that shutdown? And then you try, oh, I'm blocked here. Well, what if I feel into it? What am I feeling? You may feel completely numb and blank. That's a clue. That's a great clue. Say, I feel numb and blank. And then maybe 5 minutes later, I feel sad. Woo. 5 minutes later, I feel guilty. I did something. 5 minutes later, I feel angry. And that's a big clue. When you're feeling angry, that's a real clue because you're trying to not be angry. So you're trying to squelch down the anger, and that creates this feeling of anxiety. So maybe an anxious type, not an avoidant type, but an anxious type, an anxious relationship type, you're just simply pissed. You're angry all the time. And you're trying not to be. So you want to feel into the anger. And what makes you feel angry? He does something. It's a pattern. Here's the thing. There is so much in our lives from the moment we are born and before we are born that occurs for us that happens to us. And we have feelings attached to all of it. And so much of these feelings are joyful and happy and appreciative and grateful. But so many of these feelings are grief and pain and sadness. Needs not getting met. People not hearing you. Just been filed away into this storage drawer of your body and your heart and your mind, and it just feels the same every time it shows up. It's sadness and it's anger. Why did that happen? Why did you do that? Why did that happen? And it's just been buried for so long, and that is covered up by anxiety, which is I don't want to feel that. So once again, if you start feeling into anger, whoa, empowered woman. Now, if you're angry a lot, what's happened is a lot of those feelings of pain and grief have been covered over by anger. So, yep, you got to go down into the grief. Got to go down another step further. What's happening is the anxiety is covering up the anger, maybe. And then the anger is covering up the pain and the grief. Grief is an amazing, amazing, amazing experience, an emotional powerhouse, because it contains so many emotions. Misery, pain, physical pain, mental pain, emotional pain, memories, fear, just terror, anger, guilt, regret, so many feelings. If we squelch those down, we don't get to feel the real fun ones, the ecstatic ones, the sensual ones, the wonder ones. And what you want to do is feel that more of the time. And trying to feel those things doesn't open up all the doors that have been shut by us not wanting to feel the grief. We do not want to go back into old situations. We do not want to dig stuff up. We want to feel what we're feeling in the moment, but we're covering up. Once you uncover and open all the doors, you get to choose where you want to go. But when you close the doors, it becomes an unknown. It becomes a mystery, and it has a lot more weight than it needs to have. So think of this as closed doors. Anxious type, closed doors to real feelings. And then the next step, and we'll talk about this another time, is to open those doors so much that he can see them open. Not only can he see them open, he can see that you are feeling those feelings. Next comes communication, but the connection happens when he can feel in his body that you have opened doors to your own feelings. Because why? Because then he knows that you will not have judgment of him when he feels. You're the queen here. You open your own doors. You automatically open his. To get more relationship advice, check out this video next.